Hi, this is just a run through of the new Sentral 2013 interface, which we can use for both Markbook and also for timetable viewing. So as normal, we'd open up our browser, log into the internet with your normal password. I keep in my browser a bookmark up the top of my login at school, and also one which has my login for home. So for example, if I wanted to access Sentral from home, I'd go to the Web 1 Warners Bay H schools, which I can't do because I'm not at home. But if I'm opening it up at school, it's 10.32.200.10, and you can see this on the screen. Okay, so that's 10.32.200.10. Okay, type that straight into your address bar and you get into Sentral, but it's a good idea to favourite that. Okay, once you're in, again, you just use your normal password. And this brings us through to a different screen than we're used to. But up the top here you can see this is recent applications that you've used. Okay, so what used to be called Time View is now just called Timetables. Okay, and once we open up Timetables, we get a choice of either teachers, students, classes, rooms, or faculties. So I might want to see what the whole Kappa faculty is doing at the moment. So I type in CAPA, and there you go. I've got every single period of every single day and what the staff are doing. I can even go in here and click on, say for example, one of their rooms, E16, and see when that room is actually being used for the week. Okay, the ability to click between rooms, staff and students is really quite good. I can click on a class in there, and by going up to the top right hand corner I can view the class list and see who's in that classroom. Okay, if I go back to up the top here is timetables. If I want to look for a teacher, so I want to see where I'm meant to be next period, I'll start typing in my name, TO, and I appear down the bottom. There were some teething problems with the teacher search, but that's been fixed up. Now what's important to note is that this timetable is a live timetable, so if I'm away today and a casual teacher is on, you'll see the casual teacher's name on there. So for example, if I say go to Veronica's classes, I know that Veronica's away today, I click on hers and I can see that today John McDonnell had her classes. Okay, so this is basically what you see is what is happening today, unless I've forgotten to synchronise it in the morning. Other features of this is that you can add favourites to your timetables over here. So for example, I've got Nina and Tracy over here, two people I work with through the VET program, and I might look up their timetables regularly, so I keep them over there so I don't have to type them in again. If I was a head teacher, I'd have all of my faculty down there on the left hand side. Okay, the planning and period timetable, I'd probably leave that. Most of us would only really use the teacher and student function. If I clicked on the student timetable, okay, you can see that again the Monday is not showing here because we actually had a cancellation of classes on the Monday, so again that's live. But if I go through to the next week, you'll see that the Mondays come back again. So if classes are ever cancelled, they won't show up on the timetable. So what you see here isn't the usual timetable, but it is the actual timetable that the student is operating on a day-by-day basis. Okay, the other feature we should probably look at is the rooms. We can, if we're looking for a room, I could type in, say for example, music room A12. Okay, and I'll just go to search for timetables, and select room, and then I'll press A1, and you can still get a list there. Where there's a duplication, just generally go to the first one. You can see the first one there is the second one there is blank. So if you click on the first room that's available, so for A1, make sure you select rooms, A1, and click on the first one there, and you can see who's in that class today. Again, Monday is blank because on the 15th of the 7th we had our development day and all classes were cancelled. Okay, the only other thing I wanted to show you quickly before we finish is if we type in 10.32.200.19 up the top there, okay, and just quickly show you, because a few people asked me about finding, after they've been marking their roles, how do they find out, or how do they print out a copy of it? And whilst most people would know by now, it's probably a good idea just have a quick refresh. If we click on reports, I can open up any of my old classes. So for example, I'll open up 9HHB3 by clicking on reports on the left hand side, and I can print that out at any time. Okay, that was just one question I had a couple of days ago. So please email me any questions you might have about any of the programs we're using, and thanks for listening.